This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today is Thursday. It is July 21st. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man, and we're coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. Hey, I'm going to jump right into it. Grande, Brown Man, last night, we were not at home watching the ESPYs. We were out and about living life, man. And our man, Bill Hagan, the owner of 1090, brought his 1090 wrapped vehicle. Not even sure I knew he had that vehicle. Parked it in front of the Kraken in Cardiff, put his whole band on stage, and then proceeded to rock the freaking house. Okay. Lots of great friends out last night. I know it was Wednesday, and I kept calling it a school night for everybody, but it was so great to be with you guys. It was so great to be out there. Bill's band was great, and what a night we had. So, fellas, a lot of things happened last night. I can say that. Like? You want to know like?
Oh, man.
Yo, man.
Yo, your mic switched again. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you switched your mic.
Hold on, bro.
Why are you switching your mic, bro?
I think something's going on with this thing. The screen was like, it did switch. What?
Well, fix it, man. We're on the air right now.
So,
there you go.
So last night, because we had this conversation about doing the punching machine. So,
wait, hold on. Let me reset for
Hold on. What's going on right now?
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Look. So
Browner wants to get something off his chest bad, dude.
Yeah, real bad. Because Browner knows what a giant, massive fail.
Huge.
That he created last night for us.
Huge.
Dude, so last night we're at this bar, the Kraken. Everybody, we talked a lot about this. And the band is playing up front, but in the back room, there's a pool table and a, like TVs with games on and stuff, and the bathrooms are nearby. And they have one of those punching bag machines, Alex. Have you seen those before?
I hold the record at Woodstock's in College area.
Okay, don't tell me your score yet. That's an important. Do you know your score?
Off the top of my head, I think so.
Okay. All right. So these punching bag machines, they're video game, if you will. You put in whatever it is, dollar, quarters, whatever. The punching bag comes down.
Yes.
And then people punch the bag, and then the score tells you like how strong you were at punching the bag.
I really hope this ends with Browner trying to kick it and he fell on his face. But anyways, keep going.
Okay. So last night, a whole bunch of people are crowding around, and Browner's holding court. He's got the machine going, and he'll pull the bag down. He'll call somebody up, and they'll come punch it, right? I never do these games, just so I never punch the bag ever in a bar.
Okay.
Because I've seen guys try to punch the bag and not be successful at it, and girls go up there and punch this thing and outscore the dudes over and over again. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm out on this. So, okay, Browner, pick it up from here.
So I don't know how the machine works. I've never punched one. So I put too much money in. I don't know how to let it down. So I finally get it working. So Rachel was first. She knocks it out of the park. Boom. Then some random girl comes up. She punches it. Boom. So then we go around. We had like 7 swings. We get like almost down to the last swing. And the second woman who punched it says, I want to kick it. And I've recorded almost every single punch.
He's literally like sitting right there
just like
with
this?
his phone, and he's recording every person's punch.
Yes. But at that point, it had gotten stale because I had recorded so many punches that it wasn't exciting anymore.
Can I ask,
dude,
do we know the woman that wanted to kick it before you extend your story?
Don't know this chick. Don't know her at all.
Shame.
No.
It is a shame.
I know. Dude, This girl goes, I want to kick it. Can I kick it? I go,
and she's short, dude. She not tall.
Yes.
She kind of short.
5'2", max.
And I'd say the bag was probably 4.5 feet in the air. So
it's basically like shoulder. No, it's like eye level to me. So it's really high up. I would say
that's my point. Yeah, my point is she's short and the bag is kind of high.
Yeah.
So for her to kick this thing, I mean, she got to be Bruce Lee's little sister,
Right. I have seen, by the way,
Man.
before you even say what happened, I have seen dozens and dozens and dozens of fails on this machine on TikTok of people trying to kick it.
Oh my
Like,
God.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So tell me.
We would have entered the TikTok Hall of Fame
Mm-hmm.
if I would have just recorded one more.
Okay.
Because this woman went for the kick. I'm talking about she missed everything. I'm talking about, and this at this point, so many people were punching it, it got out of the crowd. So
Right.
now it's like 10 to 15, maybe 20 people taking turns or watching people punch this thing. She misses everything and slides right underneath the machine.
Yeah, she's
And
wearing she's not even wearing like flip-flops. She's just wearing like these little flat nothing shoes, like no support of any kind, you know? And she goes to kick this thing like Pele doing a bicycle kick to score a goal. I mean, this chick, no, it's just that when she went to kick it, when she went to kick it, her kicking leg went like over her head, and her leg on the ground went flying out from underneath her, and she went down, boom. I mean, hard, bro. Oh yeah, dude, she went down hard.
It was
hard.
I'm sending you the video of the woman who did the punch. This is the woman who fell. It was,
but we don't have the kick though, and so
right. We don't have the kick now.
So Browner is recording, as he said, everybody, and he decides to stop recording. And this chick goes to kick it, and he doesn't even pick up his camera and record it. And dude,
did you know she was
the
gonna
two
kick
of
it?
us.
Yeah, she looked me right in the face and goes, "I'm gonna kick it."
What's the matter with you?
Right, if you knew she was gonna kick it, why you should have said, "Hold
You're in the
on a second,
content game, bro."
I know, man. I failed.
What
big
a
time.
fail! I'm telling you, Alex. All me and Browner did, because first of all, me and Lawhead, we lost it. We were crying hysterically when we saw this, especially because she popped right back up. Like she went down hard, but she popped right back up.
That makes it better.
Me and Lawhead are dying laughing, just hysterical, dying laughing. And Browner is like, I didn't record that, and we're like, what the hell? Like we would have gone so viral, or so we thought.
Yeah,
and we missed the whole thing.
Oh man. That was a big
Lawhead is hilarious, by the way.
How many punches you got? You got like 15 on your phone, and then the one that anybody even wants to see, you don't even have it.
Right.
Pretty
That's
much.
exactly the case.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, by the way, so my girlfriend Rachel, she punches this bag and she scores like 750. That was like her score. Okay. All these dudes are punching it and they're going 650. You know, girls are punching it 245. I mean, it's just nobody is putting up a score.
Tell me your
I
scores.
can't believe. So I never punched the thing.
Come on.
I swear to God,
you that embarrassed about throwing down a low number that you couldn't step up and punch it?
Correct.
Oh,
that is
my
absolutely
gosh.
100% correct. Yes, make no mistake. Make no mistake. I did not want to embarrass myself, okay?
Okay.
Browner is standing off to the side of the machine and nobody's punching it and the bag is down. So Browner sucker punches the machine.
Just backhands
In
it?
other words, in other words, like every person is like walking up to the machine. They got their fists raised. You know, they're positioning themselves. They're thinking about how they're going to swing and get their hips and their shoulders involved. Right. Browner is standing off to the side, and Browner, as Lawhead points out, Browner is the only person in the history of this boxing machine that sucker punched the machine. Like he didn't stand there and square up. The machine had no idea it was coming, and with a left hook, Browner goes thump.
Well,
and
he's
hits this thing. Yeah, hits this thing, dude, and scores like, I think his score was 853. I think was his score. Yeah, right. And nobody topped it.
Club punch.
Nobody topped it. And he sucker punched the machine.
This man knows how to fight. Are you scared now for your sparring match?
Well, so I'm thinking to myself now that maybe me and Browner sparring is not a great idea for me. You know, he's got reach.
I told you guys like a week ago, whenever we were talking about this, that machine should replace the sparring session. Like you just get like, you know, let's do, because I think it's 2 punches per dollar or whatever. So you just knock out like 10 punches each, average score. That's the easiest way to do it. Average score, not high score. Average score. You got to be consistent with your punches.
Yeah. What was your score? If he got an 853, what was your all-time best?
Listen, I don't want to brag, okay?
No, here you go.
But it was 951.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing I learned about these machines. And honestly, when I don't know if you guys know this, I'm professionally trained. But a professional at boxing terribly for one semester in junior college, because you still had to take some sort of like elective courses. So me and my buddy took a boxing class for one semester that we were trained by. Do you remember? I think her name was Mia St. John.
I've heard of her before.
She was randomly, I think it was her. I'm pretty sure it was because she was pretty attractive and she was a professional boxer. She was our instructor during the semester, so I learned how to properly throw a punch. That's all I learned. Yeah. And so I just incorporated it into this college area Woodstocks. Stepped into it. I was the guy that like took it super seriously. At least I didn't look like an idiot throwing down a 500. So threw down a 951.
Damn, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, Browner just sucker punched
4th of July last year. Remember, Mars' cousin had that dope apartment next to Petco.
Yeah.
So part of their amenities, they had a game room, and they had that machine. And I could not get close to 951, but I was like 890 to 910, like every time I did it. Yeah.
Still impressive.
Yeah.
Still impressive.
Nice. I learned how to throw a punch.
Yeah. See, Brown, you sucker punched that machine.
I didn't sucker punch the thing.
Right. Browner just sucker punched it. And he hit that thing, Alex, and he hit it left-handed. And I was like, first of all, he's a southpaw.
Yeah.
And secondly, he just blasted that thing without really, really trying, without any positioning of any kind. Maybe this boxing sparring match between me and Browner is not such a great idea for me.
If you're so scared to even attempt to punch that machine in public, why would you have the balls to step in a ring in public? That makes no sense to me.
Different focus.
Tell you what, man, it was a really fun time last night, though, even though the massive fail of not getting that girl trying to kick the bag and her falling face first and everything else. You know?
To be fair to her, when you have a few drinks, a lot of people try to kick that thing.
Well,
I have myself was wondering, can I reach it? I didn't try it.
The classic flaw was when her foot came off the ground, her other foot was ahead of her, like her forehead.
Yeah.
And at that point, no balance. Just floor time.
Yep. Well, it was a fun night. I will tell you that.
Yeah,
here's Browner showing us this girl. There she is, 242. She decided that sucks. I better try and kick this thing.
Oh, that was the same girl.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh man.
Dude. She was nice. She was fun. She was very fun.
She was great.
I had a good time. Cool. I ended up staying a lot later than I thought I would.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, I had no expectations on the music. I mean, obviously, I know that place very well. You can always have a good time there. Bill's band was so good. So good. The lead singer was good. I made a joke about him that I won't share here, but it was very funny that the night just kind of had a bunch of fun people in it. Everybody was having a good time. And the night just kept going and going and going. Then Lawhead showed up, and then it just kept going and going and going. And it was fantastic. It was shout out to them for a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I got to say the best part for me was, so my buddy Ron, who owns the place, and his girlfriend Kelly, they came and they met Bill. And so now Bill, who really wants to play there more often, he meets the owner, and everybody's like all broing down and everything. And Ron was really happy that, my goodness, I mean, they got a ton of radio promotion out of this thing. And Bill and his band got that stage, which is what they wanted. And then Bill and his wife, Christina, they bring all their Carlsbad friends and their friends and their wives there, and they just party and go crazy and have the best time. So we had so much fun last night. Next time we do one of these things, everybody, if you couldn't make it Friday, you'll have to come, and we'll have to try and do it on a Friday. Yeah. We'll get Bill booked on a Friday night rather than on a Wednesday night.
I got to tell your boy, Ron, who owns that place, though.
Yeah.
Just a couple fans won't hurt, man.
No, it was hot as hell in there last night.
I almost was like, I needed an undershirt yesterday. I was Chris Bermaning the joint, dude. It was freaking muggy in there, man.
Yeah, it was hot as hell in there last night.
Shout out to Kelly, War Eagle. She loved talking about Auburn football.
Yeah.
She asked me to say that on this show today.
Okay. Well, hey, shout out to Don and Lori Benson.
Shout out to the
Don was on one, dude.
Dude, Don got to eat some food before he goes out and does that kind of drinking, pal.
Oh my, dude.
I was a little embarrassed, Alex. I had been bragging to you about how great the burger is in the food truck in the back, and my man was closed last night. and they brought in some pizza truck, which I thought the pizza was pretty good.
Come on, man. That was a false advertisement on your end.
Yeah, I let you down. I let you down in a big way.
And then you freaking blew up my Irish goodbye.
Well, that is true.
Oh,
here's what happened. Okay, so here's what happened. Let me tell everybody what happened. So, in fact, you know what? Why tell? Let me show you what happened. I know I shot video. Here's what happened last night. Everybody shot video of everybody else. Okay, everybody wanted to have evidence of what was going on. So everybody here was shooting video of everybody else. Okay, Alex.
The video I shot, Kelly's in it. Kelly smoking. Good job by the owner, man.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
Alex, Alex is trying to do his Irish goodbye, and I busted him. Here's the video. Is it Irish goodbye time?
Irish goodbye.
Oh,
Alex
ruined it. Now it's a goodbye.
Now, oh really?
Yeah.
So you told me you were going to the bar.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm going to the bar. Did you text that to you? No. I'm going to the bar.
What's up, J Law?
What's up?
Dude, Alex is out of here.
Alex is out. He's an early riser, Alex.
Yeah, he got work to do. Look at this motherfucker.
Look at this Brown.
What do you got, Brown? What do you got, dog? Hey, yeah. Wait, hey, Alex, hold on. Alex is leaving.
Yeah, I had this perfect plan because I was sitting on this table with my buddy and Jason, and we were sitting there for a while, and I was like, cool, they're starting to play again. But then Jason, you know how Jason gets with the stories. And Jason kind of ruined my Irish goodbye because we were literally wrapping up our beer, and because they just started playing, and I was like, dope, I'm gonna wrap this up. There's a back exit, there's an outdoor exit. I'm just gonna bail this way. And Jason sat there and told me about his 1997 All-Star experience, his 98 and 99 All-Star experience, which was a cool story. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you are blowing me up right now, bro. I'm trying to bounce. And I just sat there for 25 minutes listening about his All-Star experiences and how he got Cal Ripken to sign a baseball and all this other stuff. And then I see you guys pull up, and I was like, all right, well, this is done. I'm just going to tell everybody I'm going to the bar. If everybody's outside, I'm just going to go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
But you blew it up.
I did. Blew it up. Well, now, so I shot video of Alex trying to get his Irish goodbye in. Mm-hmm. They asked me if in between the first set and the second set, I would speak to the crowd. But Browner's so good at that. So I kind of said to Browner, you go. So you got to see that Browner.
Oh, no, wait, what? You did video this.
Dude, Browner, you give Browner a microphone in a crowd, he goes right into stand-up mode right away. Okay. They asked me to speak. I gave the mic to Browner, and Browner knocked him dead. Here it is.
Yo, I need everybody's attention as the only black man here. This is the reparation speech. You saw him, he does not count. It is not the same. Coherency is very important. Or that woman, she don't count either.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the band. Let me get a round of applause for the band.
Yeah, round of applause for the band. Browner wearing his Brown Facts hoodie. It's 150 degrees in the place.
So hot. Old dudes make a band. I know, because one of them is my boss. Kinda, technically, partner, boss. Yeah. It's like a condom. We're working together. You're protecting me, we're protecting you, we're getting the job done. It works. It feels good sometimes.
Browner knocked him dead in 2 minutes. He's standing up there. Anybody who's listening on radio, I know it doesn't sound perfect. You got to come watch the opening segment today on the YouTube show, or watch us on TV tonight on Channel 4 San Diego, because Browner is holding a beer and a piece of pizza in his same hand, in his right, and he's holding the mic in his other hand, and he's knocking him dead. Now, just to be fair here, Alex gets blown up by the Irish goodbye. Browner is up on stage doing his thing. I know Browner caught video of me, and did you bring this today? Because I hope you didn't, but if you did, I'll take my punishment.
Oh, yeah, I got you good. You didn't even see it coming. You were grooving. You were locked in. These are the typical Scott. This is the third time I've been whenever played music with Scott. These are the typical Scott dance moves. Literally, it's the 1, 2, 3. This is what he does. It's great.
Was it jazz fingers?
You got video? You got video on this?
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Oh, all right.
So funny.
No, I got it.
So
Trust
funny.
me. I just like a little build up,
You do? Do you? All right.
Yeah.
We're going to see this together. You going to embarrass me right now? Here we go. All right. There's me and Kelly. There's Kelly. Oh, here I go. Oh, yeah. Look at me go. Oh, Kelly, bring it in, girl. Yeah. Kelly's bringing it in. Oh, hey, look, we're talking.
Hey.
Yeah, I got but now here I come. Right back to dancing. Right back to dancing. There I am. Oh, hell to the yeah. 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 Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is the whitest thing you do.
Oh, my God. So good.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I thought
my
you
God.
turning every rap song into a jazz song was the whitest thing you do. No, that is the whitest thing you do.
That's the whitest thing, huh?
Because you even busted out that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even move like
It's in there, dude. It's in the system. It's in the spirit.
So good.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're just getting going here, okay? Everybody stick around. We got a lot we want to get to today. This is Kaplan and crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Please welcome in tax attorney Adam Brewer. Adam, thanks so much for joining us again on Main Street Living.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be back.
So, of course, we have more tax questions for you. First of all, what are the types of business entities that business owners can use?
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd ask this question. So this time of year, this is when, business owners probably just got handed a pretty big tax bill. And so naturally, the next question is, how can they save taxes? How can they save on taxes? And so that's where these business entities really, they may come in. So yeah, what we're looking at is corporations or limited liability companies, more commonly called LLCs. So definitely by using either a corporation or an LLC, business owners may be able to really save on taxes. For the most part, when we talk about tax savings, we're looking at like an S Corp election. And so again, an LLC can do that, a corporation can do that. But the net result is you want to save on what's called self-employment tax. So for 2022, a business owner is going to, by default, pay self-employment tax on the first $147,000 of taxable income. So that's 15.3%. By doing an S Corp election, putting yourself on payroll, you can really drive down how much of your income you have to pay that 15.3% at. Beyond the tax savings, it just offers an extra level of protection between the business owner's personal assets, say their home, and their business operation. So, no matter what business you operate, you're going to have some exposure to liability. So an entity like a corporation, like an LLC, it just puts that extra level of protection between the business and then what the owner has on their personal side.
Yeah, well, clearly a plethora of information that you always provide to us, Adam. We appreciate you being on the show. Where can our viewers get in touch with you for more tax help?
Yeah, like always, they can visit my website, triumphovertax.com, or feel free to pick up the phone. You can always give me a call, 619-591-9500.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season continues. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal host the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros Saturday, July 23rd at 7 p.m. Come join us at Torero Stadium and support the San Diego Loyal as they continue their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Tickets are available. San Diego Loyal versus the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros, Saturday, July 23rd on Your View.
Welcome back This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. We said Mark Loretta was going to come join us here on Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. He is the special assistant to the CEO of the San Diego Padres, longtime great friend, and one of the all-time great second basemen in Padre history. Mark Loretta returns to the show. What's up, Mark?
Gentlemen, good afternoon.
You know, I always love when you come on the show and you're wearing something like a hat that has something that makes me want to talk about that. Last time it was Viore, and you told us the story about the dude who's the minor league ball player who's now the store like manager and like up and coming star in their company. We've been emailing back and forth with that dude, and we're going to go in there and we're going to get all outfitted and do our thing. So thank you for that connection. But today, an LRF hat. Browner, Grande, does anybody know what LRF means?
Legit right fielder.
I knew you would love this one, Scotty. I knew you would love it. It's very fitting for the next couple days, as you know what's going on at Del Mar Racetrack.
Mark, let me ask you a question. Will you be tonight at the party that your hat, which stands for Little Red Feather? So Mark and I have some common friends that own a horse racing stable and an operation out of LA.
Stable Wars Season 1 rival, Little Red
Feather. That's right.
That's correct. To answer your question, I will be at L'Auberge tonight. Will you be there?
I will be.
Very nice. Now I'm very excited.
Yeah, party starts at 6. I won't get there till about 7:15. You know, don't wait for me.
Well, I'll be gone by
then. So yeah, tonight's gonna be a fun party. What we do is we take the Great Friends Stables, and these guys are our buddies from Little Red Feather, and we take the two groups because there's some crossover. There are some people who like to put money into both groups, and we bring them all together for a party right before the opening night. So we party tonight with our two groups, and then tomorrow is opening day. Mark, will you go to Del Mar tomorrow? Will you be part of the opening day festivities?
I'm not scheduled to go tomorrow. No, I've been on some kind of a 7-day bender, so I'm gonna try and take it easy. With the All-Star game, and then I had a member guest up in Oregon the weekend before that, so I need a little bit of a hiatus. But tonight I'll be ready to have a libation with you, Scott.
Okay, cool. Now, when you say you were on a bender, did you participate in a lot of the All-Star festivities in LA?
I did. I actually announced 2 draft picks for the Padres. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Did not.
Funny story there. You guys love this in the media. So the first pick goes off without a hitch. They have this nice teleprompter there up in LA Live in Los Angeles. I go out for the second one, and they failed to tell me that I guess if you put your hand on a certain part of the teleprompter, that it goes dark. With the 68th pick, the Padres, and I touch this thing and I'm just blank. So thank God I had rehearsed the name, because it was a little bit of a tricky name. It was a guy named Mosier. So I had practiced that a bunch, and I knew he went to the University of Iowa. So I'm like, am I going to stop this live TV broadcast and get somebody up here? I just said, I apologize, my screen is blank, but I think I remember the name. I pronounce the name, and then I go with from the University of Iowa. I didn't go with the position, but I apologize to that young draft pick that I sort of screwed up a little bit on his announcement, but I think it went off okay.
All right, man. So you were up there. You were part of the draft. That's pretty cool.
Part of the draft, and then went to the Home Run Derby, which is a cool event, man. I think they've kind of dialed that in the right way with the head-to-head stuff, and it doesn't last 5 hours. All this stuff. I thought it was great. I mean, Julio Rodriguez was unbelievably impressive. I was sitting on the first base side. He's a right-handed hitter. What a swing, man. He's as pretty a right-handed swing with easy power as I've seen. And then, of course, Soto comes back and wins it on the last round. But it was a fun event. And then on Tuesday, we hosted a group of season ticket holders at a really nice restaurant in LA, and then took them to the All-Star game and did all that. So got back yesterday, and now trying to sort of regroup.
Well, sounds like a great couple of days. So were you at the All-Star game and all the festivities strictly as like Mark Loretta, who works in the Padres front office, or was there ever just I'm a former player, I'm just hanging out here, or was this all business?
It was a little bit of both, mostly business though, with the draft, and then I did go to the home run derby just kind of as a fan, and had some fun there. We went to there was a little bit of a reception there that Anheuser-Busch puts on. They're a big sponsor of MLB, as you know, so plenty of Budweisers there, and then had a good time. That like I said, on Tuesday we hosted a great group of season ticket holders, and fun event up there.
Sounds really cool, man. Mark Loretta is here. He is the special assistant to the CEO of the San Diego Padres. So listen, I'll just jump right in. We're going to go into the second half of the season. And the one thing that everybody was talking about in LA was Juan Soto. They were talking about how he had to fly commercial. They were talking about how late he got in. They were talking about the spectacular way he won the home run derby, $1 million for winning it. But the one thing everybody was talking about is where's he going to get traded to? The Dodger fans were screaming in the outfield, Mark, future Dodger, bing, bop, beep, bop, boo. So the Dodger fans think they're getting him. The Yankees think they're getting everybody, as usual. The Cardinals have come into play. But the original report was that the Padres got a real shot. So I realize that your job is not necessarily personnel, and it's more on the business side with the Padres. But I don't know. Can you say anything about the possibilities?
Well, first of all, I'd love to have a player like that. I mean, I think he's, like everybody says, he's a generational talent. There's this group of young Latin sluggers, with Julio Rodriguez and Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis and Ronald Acuna that are really, really exciting for the game. And if we could get, I'd put Manny in that category as well, although he's kind of a veteran now. But if we could get, Soto and pair him with Tatis and Machado, heads up. Now, the question is, of course, what's it going to cost? There's a ton of teams involved. It's not just as easy as, hey, let's just give up the farm. There's competitive balance tax issues. The Padre ownership has gone really above and beyond, with their payroll, being over 200 million. So how do you work that in? You probably have to eliminate some to add some, all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll go right down the wire. The Nationals, have no pressure to trade him and no timeline. So I think they're just going to sit back and say, come to me and we'll see what happens. Very intriguing situation. Do you think the Padres will aggressively pursue this? Yeah, absolutely. No question. I mean, with AJ Preller, he aggressively pursues everything. And I know he loves Soto. Who doesn't? But again, risk versus reward, long-term versus short-term. There's a lot of moving factors that go into it. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
When you hear about, and this is a question for you as a front office member, when you hear about the Nats not sending Juan Soto on do some form of plane where they take care of the flight, when you hear the same thing talked about the A's pitcher, as a ex-player and now as a upper management person, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, if a team only has one participant in the All-Star game, it hasn't been normal where teams have just said, okay, we'll just get a PJ for you and fly you out there. I didn't fly privately. I made, 2 All-Star teams, one with the Padres. I was the only guy and I got myself there and, no issues, never thought twice about it. And then I made it with the Red Sox, and thank God Big Papi was also on the team, and so I hitched a ride with him. He chartered his own flight. So it's not necessarily normal for teams to fly guys privately, but what happens is if you end up having 4, 5, 6 guys like the Mets or something like that, then you usually do it. And one year, actually, I take that back. The year I was with the Red Sox, we were playing in Chicago, and Chicago had several All-Stars, so we all kind of went together on a private plane. So that kind of goes. But I don't know. I think that was much to do about nothing, Bronner. Look, he makes $17 million. Not like he's making, 700,000. So if he wanted to go privately, he certainly could have. It's not the normal thing, in my opinion.
Soto makes 17 million. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that the thing that made that story the big deal is that it was reported as the Nationals refused to do it because he turned down the
Yes.
extension. That's what made that story stand out more.
I think that was fill in the blanks. I think that was absolutely fill in the blanks. I doubt it. And the other thing is, most of these guys have bonuses in their contract for making the All-Star game, and it's at least 50, 100, 250,000. That'd be a nice use for the private jet if you wanted.
Yeah, and also like Scott Boras being like, I can't believe, dude, Scott's got money too. Like, put your client on a plane if it's that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
how about do a deal for your client? Just do a deal with one of these net jet type companies. You know, these fractional jet companies.
And I think Soto, rightfully so, is upset that got out to the world, that he turned that down. I mean, look, it's his prerogative, and the team, shouldn't come out and just say, oh well, that's just justification for now we're going to trade him. Maybe they didn't want to sign him. Maybe they knew that he wasn't going to want to go back there. So they just say, oh wait, look what we offered him. We offered him $1 billion and he turned it down, but now we can trade him. And now the fan base is going to be, of course you're going to trade him. You turned down $1 billion.
So
I think all this was strategical because they didn't sign Bryce Harper. The same thing kind of happened with him. The number got out early. Also, Scott Boras' client, but the number got out early. They said, oh, look, see, we offered him. Like, it's the exact same playbook. So when you see organizations operating like this, does this give you guys the opportunity to make moves, knowing that some owners, because their team's probably up for sale soon, it appears some teams don't want to win.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. Yeah, and I go back to the pandemic and remember when teams were selling guys because, we're not going to have any fans. That's how we got Darvish, quite frankly, the Padres, where everybody, all the teams were kind of, didn't know where their payroll was going to go, didn't know where their revenue was going to go, and it was kind of a scary moment. But I thought that was awesome that the Padres and the Seidler O'Malley group, they seized on that moment, said, hey, we'll take these guys. We may never have a chance to get them. It's going to come back, and look what's happened. We're drawing 39,000 a night, and our payroll is top 5, or we're top 5 in attendance. It's when you invest in your team, and you have an exciting team, people will come.
Sticking with the Soto thing, Mark, obviously everybody has like their trade packages, right? Everybody's already putting out, what would the Dodgers give up? What would the Yankees give up? What would the Mets give up? When it comes to the Padres, how much is too much? Like when obviously you throwing out names like Gore, like Abrams, Hassel, whoever, Snell, whoever it is. When a guy like Juan Soto, who everybody was raving about at the All-Star game, everybody, players, coaches, everybody, calling him like a once in a whatever talent. How much is too much to give up for a guy like that you still control for this year and 2 more? So it's not just a 3-month rental.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, okay, but it could be only a 2 or 3 year rental, right? I mean, are you going to sign this guy? Who knows how much, is he a $500 million player now? I don't know. There's definitely a line where it's too much. I've heard people talk about, well, just go out and get him. It doesn't matter what you give up. Well, look, you got to have 25 guy man roster. You need 9 guys on the field. This is not the NFL where it's such a quarterback driven league where if you go out and you get the number 1 quarterback, that's going to really boost your team. There's risk. There's risk involved with just putting that much into one player. But I would be aggressive to a point, and then you got to draw a line somewhere where too much is too much.
Mark Loretta is here.
Look
Mark
at the
Loretta's
Angels.
here. Yeah, let me just have 1 second to let everybody on radio know, because if you're listening right now, you may go, whose voice is that? That's Mark Loretta. He is the special assistant to the CEO of the Padres, former great Padres second baseman, great friend of the show. And we're talking about Juan Soto and the All-Star festivities and getting ready for the second half of the season for the Padres. Browner, pick it up.
And what you were saying, you got to be careful what you give up because baseball is such a unique sport in that way. The Angels have, quote unquote, the 2 best players in baseball, according to MLB.com. And look at them. They suck.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't really say they suck. I'm saying
Mark's
it.
what do you want me to say?
No, look, the Angels have underachieved. I mean, I think everybody, they would tell you that, with those 2 players and what they've spent money on and maybe they've given up stuff. I don't know their exact trade history, but yeah, I mean, and things, look, I think you would ask JJ Preller, would he go back and hold on to Trey Turner if he had a chance? So how many Trey Turners are you willing to risk giving up in the hopes of getting this quote unquote once in a generation player. It's risky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Mark. So, we think about Soto, and it's just a thought at this point, but the notion is you would add Soto to Machado and to Tatis, at least if you're looking at it from a Padre perspective. Obviously, if you're looking at a Dodger perspective, you're thinking about, wow, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and this whole lineup that the Dodgers have and adding Soto to that. So let me ask you this. What is the deal on Tatis? I mean, do you know anything about, where he is and what kind of progress he's making and what sort of timetable we should be thinking about?
I don't know any more than what's been out there. I do know he's cleared to do full bore baseball stuff. So that gives me some hope that he'll ramp up relatively quickly. Just as a guess, I would think, somewhere in 2 to 3 week range would be about right, which will put us right at the end of this month or first of August. But I'm a little worried that the fan base is kind of putting all the stock in Fernando coming back. And look, he could be the same guy right off from day one, but we're talking about a wrist here. That's very important in baseball. The other thing is, you don't have your baseball legs right away when you come back. So what I've seen in my experience is when guys miss a lot of time, they may come back and play great for a week or two. Then you hit a wall, man. I've had this experience where, man, after 10 days and I'm playing every day and I'm not in baseball shape and now I'm just struggling to hang on. So I think we need to temper our expectations a little bit, and not look as Fernando as just the savior of this offense, but just as another quality piece to add to it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, if you tell me that he's really ready to come back and play a Major League Baseball game, and let's just say, I don't know, I'm picking a random date here, August 10th. If he comes back, that's like, less than 3 weeks from right now. If he comes back on August 10th, should we expect Fernando Tatis to be who he was last season when he was, healthy before he moved to the outfield? I mean, should we really have an expectation that he just walks right back in and he just picks up where he left off? I mean, it's one thing when you get hurt during the year and your first at bat, you hit a home run when you're coming back, but this guy's been out for, all these months.
Yeah, that's my point. My point is that I don't think you can just assume, you plug him back in. Hopefully, yes. I mean, he's that kind of special talent. He's young enough. Maybe he doesn't skip a beat, but there is that chance that he's going to need to kind of ease into it, or he's going to come out hot and then cool off a little bit. So I think this team's done a great job. If you look back on it, I think the first half felt a little bit dicey there at the end. But if you look back, 10 games over, there's been a lot of great highlights. This team is in pretty good shape, and I think getting Fernando back will be is a big emotional lift as it might be on the field as well. I think for the psyche of the team.
So we're talking about Soto and Tatis, but like obviously the headline is going to be what is AJ going to do from now till deadline, because I think the Padres need to do something. Yeah. In your opinion, like what is the biggest? I wouldn't say hole, but what is the biggest need that the Padres, in your opinion, they need like right now?
Yeah, and it's going to be on the offensive side for me, and I think there's other guys besides Soto that could fill in nicely and complement two teams. I mean, Ian Happ's name's been out there. He's a good hitter. You saw Andrew Benintendi in the All-Star game. These are names I don't have any inside information on those guys, but if you could get one or two of those guys, and if you make that calculus, say, okay, let's get Happ and Benintendi, and we don't get Soto, but we get two instead of one, and that lengthens our lineup even more. That may be a way to play it. So those guys they're going to kick over every stone, man. They're grinding in the baseball ops side right now, going through everything. Believe me.
All right, Brown. Last chance to dance here, man. We got to hustle.
As a player, what's it like around this time of the year for you and for guys in the locker room who may be on that trade bubble?
It's weird. It is weird, no doubt about it. I mean, and especially now, I've been retired 10 plus years, and so the social media is just ramped up like crazy. So I think you got to be pretty careful what you listen to, what you look at, because everybody's throwing it against the wall. Like Alex, to your point before, everybody's just assuming, okay, take the 6 best prospects on every team, and that's who should be involved in the deal. That's not the way it works. That's sort of the lazy man's way of doing it. And if teams scout on that, you're sort of happy, because usually teams have a much different rank of their farm system than the national experts do, for a lot of reasons. They know their players better than anybody. So, that's a factor. But back to your point, Bronner, it's a weird deal. You're happy kind of when it's over, but you deal with this just because this is the trade deadline. You kind of deal with this all the time as a player, and you kind of get used to it.
Mark Loretta, special assistant to the Padre CEO. Hey, Mark, we'll see you tonight at this party. Looking forward to hanging out with you a little bit. Don't leave until I get there. Come on, give me 10 minutes.
I will. I'll be there.
All right, good. Mark Loretta, have a great afternoon, and we'll see you tonight at this party, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. See you
All
later.
right. Hey, coming up next, we have not talked about Comic-Con, but Comic-Con is coming to town this weekend. Over 135,000 people will descend upon downtown San Diego. We're talking about going on Saturday, right after we get done at iThrive. By the way, if you want to join us, 858-240-1497, you'll save 30%. We're going to get done at iThrive, and then we're going to go downtown. We're going to talk about Comic-Con with a guy who's been covering it for the Union Tribune. Philip Molnar will join us next. Stick around, everybody. A lot more to get to. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Please welcome 4 of the 5 San Diego County Teachers of the Year from the 2021-2022 school year. From Central Elementary School, Laura Reyes. From Westville High School, Tiffany Jokers. From San Jose Elementary School, Jacqueline Jordan. And from St. Joe Southwest Middle School, Todd Sanders. Teachers, please deliver the pitch. San Diego County Teachers of the Year with their honorary pitch.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off, and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
Let's go ahead and take a look at your San Diego Padres baseball updates. Joe Musgrove threw a scoreless and hitless third inning for the National League in the All-Star game on Tuesday night. He even got an assist from Jake Cronenworth, who called the slider from the NL dugout that struck out Aaron Judge. The Padres will come back from the break in the Bay Area to take on the Giants this weekend. This half, the Friars are hoping to see the return of Fernando Tatis Jr. soon and hope for the overall health of the group to stay positive. Tatis got the green light to ramp up swinging last week, which will be key in establishing a more firm timetable for him to be back in action. Keep an eye on the trade deadline at the beginning of August. The Padres are likely going to be looking for some more offensive power. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
What's going on to all the great friends that watch the show on television here on Cox YourView? What you're about to see will never be heard on radio, won't be seen on YouTube, no audio podcast. This is just for you here on Cox YourView. Hey to all the great friends out there that watch on Cox YourView. You might be in San Diego, Orange County, LA, Santa Barbara. We're happy to have everybody here. What we love to do in this time is it's a Cox exclusive. This is stuff you're only going to see here on Cox. Not going to hear this on radio on 1090. Not going to see it on our YouTube channel. Not going to hear it on any of the audio podcast platforms. This is just for you guys that watch on Cox YourView. A really big show coming to the Scottish Rites Event Center in Mission Valley in San Diego. If you love trading sports memorabilia or buying or selling, this is going to be the place for you. It's coming up on August 6th and 7th. And here's the guy running the entire operation. Here's Joe Olivieri, known to his friends as Joe O from SD Collectibles, who's running this show. Hey, Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Scott. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Let's talk about this. Tell us about why people need to know about your show, SD Collectibles, on August 6th and 7th.
Well, we have a great show coming up August 6th and 7th at the Scottish Rite Event Center, like you had mentioned, right there in Mission Valley. We have over 130 tables that'll be at this show. We also have Paul Lowe signing autographs on Saturday. We have Steve Garvey and Raleigh Fingers, which will be there on Sunday doing in-person autographs. We just have a really great collection of some of the biggest and best of the community, the card collecting community, coming out there August 6th and 7th, showing their cards, showing their collectibles. There'll be a lot of memorabilia out there. And really what we look at it as is something for every collector.
Yeah, when you say every collector, is it from what I understand and looking at the website, sdcollectibles.com, it's not just purely sports cards. Is that right?
That's correct, Scott. We have sports cards, memorabilia, autographed items, quite a few unique autographed items and memorabilia. But we also have Pokemon, a large selection of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering. There'll be vendors there that have comic books. As I mentioned, there's several autograph signers that will be there. We also have JSA, which will be on site for both Saturday and Sunday, doing in-person authentication, same-day services.
Well, that's awesome, because for me, the one thing I know I'm most interested in, and I know a lot of people who are watching right now have the same thing. If you've got a piece of sports memorabilia that you are willing to part with, but you don't have authentication, like I have this Marshall Faulk football, the year that he broke the record where he was over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving for the Rams in 2000. I've also got this basketball sitting right here that is signed by every Los Angeles Laker of the 2002 World Championship team. So Shaq, Kobe, Phil Jackson. I don't really honestly know if they're authentic. I think they are. It's just I don't have the paperwork. So I can bring this stuff to your show and get it authenticated on site. Is that right?
That's correct. You can bring your autographed items, whether it's memorabilia such as those basketballs, footballs, baseballs, bats, cards, photos. You can bring them right to the show Saturday or Sunday. Stop by the JSA booth. Chris would be happy to help you there. He'll be on site with his team, and they can authenticate different items that you have that have autographs so that you can find out, one, if it's real, and two, it just gives it that much more value when it is authenticated.
What if I get it authenticated and I want to sell it? Is there a way for a private person like myself? I say private, I mean, like, I'm not in the business. Can I sell this stuff?
Yeah, you sure can. There's a couple different ways to do that. I mean, obviously there's some online ways to do that take a lot of time and a whole different set of really procedures. But one of the great things that you can do, we have tables available and we have options for everyone. We do have some vendor tables available, 6, 8, and 12-foot tables. You can bring your items down there to sell. You can bring your cards, your memorabilia, and so on. If you have some memorabilia items like you're showing there, Scott, you can get them authenticated right at JSA, bring them over to your table, and you can put them out there for all of the attendees to see and see if you can make a deal on selling it or possibly trading it for something that you have a little more interest in.
All right. Well, while you're talking, I know Alex is putting up on the screen for everybody the website. It's sdcollectibles.com, sdcollectibles.com. Information about where, when, who's going to be there signing autographs, how you can get authenticated, how you can buy a table and space if you want to sell your own collection. Joe, this is going to be a fun show. This is going to be really cool. Give us any final thoughts, things you need people to know before you roll.
Well, one of the great things is it's a family-friendly event. When you come to our shows, you'll see a lot of people, both the parents and the kids, showing them around because there's something for everyone. There's bargain boxes of cards that are anywhere from 50 cents to $1 up. And then if you're one of those bigger collectors that likes to find those unique cards, maybe those graded cards, those Gem Mint 10, there's going to be thousands and thousands of those on display, as well as what's called the trading card game, the TCG, with Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and so on, comic books, as I mentioned, autographed memorabilia and such. If I could give a special thank you to some of those in our community that have helped support our event. Stacked Packs, big supporter and sponsor of our event. Poke Familia, J-Lo Collectibles, SD Sportsmen, and OC Dugout. Those folks really helped support our event, and they'll be at the show. So if you have an opportunity to come out and attend, come by and say hello to those folks that have vendor tables set up.
Joe, it sounds like it's going to be a great event on August 6th and 7th. The website is SD Collectibles, and we'll see you down there. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Home of Guiding Hands helps San Diego community in that we're a resource for families. A lot of times when families first identify that their child, their loved one, might have an intellectual or developmental disabilities, they don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. And we're here to help guide people through that process, to show them what a thriving life their loved one can have. It's a passion I share, having a daughter with a disability.
I really love the place that I live at. Because of Home of Guiding Hands, I was able to move out of my parents' house and into a beautiful home that I love living in. And so like if you have an independent living service coordinator, they will help you like learn more about being independent, and they help guide you through different things. They've helped me with lots of encouragement and love. They've also given me an ILS worker who is an amazing person, and I love her so much. She's great. I could tell you the first, I think, week or so, I wasn't feeling very confident in myself. The first couple of nights I was like, oh, this is scary. But I look back on it now and I'm like, this is so easy.
Main Street Living celebrates diverse abilities in partnership with Home of Guiding Hands, supporting the special needs community for over 55 years.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.